Alright, this video is going to be talking about our core balance workout, and this is going to be our beginner level workout. And we're going to start with floor rolls, which are basically the very first thing that you've ever done when you're a child learning how to roll over. This develops motor control and how our upper body talks to our lower body utilizing our core. This is a very important warm-up, and it's going to be a great addition to pull strengthening. Jennifer's going to go ahead and demonstrate. We're going to start laying all the way down, hands above us. And there are two types of rolls. We're going to start with a shoulder priority roll. So what that means is you're going to reach across the body, lifting the shoulder off the ground, and then following with the hip, rolling all the way over the belly, and then you're going to reach up, really emphasizing reaching with the shoulder and only allowing the hip to follow afterwards. So really emphasize the shoulder, don't push off with the heels, and then allow the hips to go along. In the workout, we want to do 5 rolls to each direction with our shoulder priority, but for time's sake, we're just going to cut it down to 2 or 3 of them in each direction. Now, Jennifer's going to demonstrate our hip priority rolls this time, reaching the leg over, throw the hip into it, and then follow along with the shoulders. And again, reaching the leg over the hip, no shoulder, and then reaching, there we go. And let's take that leg, reach it across our body, just slightly let the hip go into it, and then the shoulder, and then crossing the leg over, reach with the hip, and then follow through with the shoulder. This is going to be more for our rear core. Exercise in the core balance workout in the beginner level is going to be our straight ab planking, and Heather's going to demonstrate. So she's going to go down and get into the proper alignment. We're just going to be on our elbows and toes. You want your back completely flat, rear end up a little bit, but not so high up that it creates a pyramid effect. Now, we're going to time this out. For all of our beginners, you should be able to hold this position completely steady for 2 minutes solid. If you are underneath that 2 minutes, then you need to be working on this until you can achieve a complete 2-minute hold. To progress the abdominal plank, once you're able to achieve 2 minutes in planking, now you're ready to go into your first progressions to make it harder for you. So go ahead down, Heather, get in the proper position. Alright, remember position, nice straight back, shoulder blades are nice and flat, not rounded out. And our first progression is going to go ahead and lift one leg up, and we want to hold this for roughly about 5 to 10 seconds. There's no specific amount of time that you need to hold it. And go ahead and switch legs and just bring it straight up. Now this first progression, you should be able to hold the entire plank, switching legs every 5 to 10 seconds for a full 1.5 minutes. Once you're able to hold this for a 1.5 minutes, then you're ready for the next level progression. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and demonstrate that. So our next level progression is going to be lift the leg up and bring it out to the side about a foot. And we'll get it from a different angle here so that you can see now it's creating a much more rotational effect. And again, we want to hold this for about a good 5 to 10 seconds, bringing it down. And the secret to this is do not let your hips twist. You're not getting core stabilization if you're letting your hips twist and you're just moving all around. It is going to be our side planking. I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate this. So we're going to get down into our side plank position, focusing on elbow on the ground, feet stacked on top of each other. She's going to lift. Now for beginner level, you should be able to hold this for 90 seconds total before you progress into our progressions. The secret of this is make sure that you're keeping the knees off the ground, hips off the ground, and a straight line from the hips all the way into the head. And we should be able to handle this for a good 90 seconds solid. Alright, now Jennifer's ready to do our progressions, so she's going to go ahead and get into our plank position. And our first progression is going to be an arm progression. So she's going to reach arm forward, and all she's going to do is basically flap her wings. She's going to bring the arm forward and backwards, and just the momentum of the arm is going to create a challenge on the core, and that's going to give you enough challenge. Again, we want to hold this for 60 to 90 seconds. And let's go ahead and put that arm back on our hip, and we'll do our second progression. Make sure the hip is nice and high, and this progression is going to be the top leg is going to move knee up and down. Let's go ahead and do 5 repetitions of that, keeping everything perfectly steady, and that's definitely going to kick in to gear those obliques and the rest of that core level. Okay, next exercise in our core balance is going to be the side stabilization on our stability ball, and Heather is going to go ahead and demonstrate. So she's going to get into position. Basically what you need to do is lay on the ball sideways. You can brace your feet against the wall if that helps you. We want to keep a nice straight line from our neck to our feet. We're going to square off our shoulders. And to make this hard, first we're going to start with just holding on, elbows off the ball. There we go. And just this is going to create enough of a tension on our obliques to create problems. Now we're going to add a progression here, so she's going to reach our arms above her head and back into our chest and do that repeatedly. And just that, repeating for a good 5, 10, 15 repetitions is going to put a nice strain on the core and really protect those ribs, get those intercostals to really activate and really help us. Very simple exercise, but very effective. Alright, next exercise is going to be our leg raises, and we're going to start with our level 1 leg raise, which is going to be knees bent, and we're going to start with knee raises. So bring the knees up to parallel. Good. Don't bring them too far into the chest. You just want to bring them up to about 90 degrees and down. Make sure we keep our back flat on the ground, nice and strong. We don't have to push our back into the ground. We just want to keep our core nice and tight. Make sure that you can keep the hips perfectly stable, back completely stable before we progress into the next one, which is going to be knees up, and then go down with the legs straight. And then reach them all the way out, and then bring knees in, and bring all the way back to straight. That's your next progression. So make sure that you can do at least 15 of each of these before you go into your next progression. And then our third progression on our floor leg raises is going to be legs straight. So legs straight down, all the way down, and then bring your legs all the way back up. This is very important to maintain core strength, keeping the back and the hips nice and level, not allowing the back to arch too much. Only progress up to this when you're ready, and you can handle 15 of the last progressions. Thank you, Heather. Alright, our next and final exercise in our beginner level core balance routine is going to be our back extensions at a 45-degree angle. You may have to go find a gym for this, but this can also be done on a stability ball. We're going to have Jennifer go ahead and demonstrate this. We're going to go all the way down, getting a nice stretch in the hips as well as the hamstrings, and just bring her back up to a certain level. Make sure that you don't hyperextend too much. And again, we just want to repeat this for higher repetitions, so we want to start with about 10 to 15 repetitions, and make sure that you're maintaining a nice slow pace so that you can feel the muscles actually do the work, because anytime that you're on the pole having to do any type of strength move, you are not doing it too fast. And this is going to be great for that lower back development as well as glute development. Thanks, Jen.